Hi, it's Sarah from Main Street Florist, here with another edition of a tutorial for our frequent flower subscribers. So this month for January, you received Star of Bethlehem. So these are a very, very long-lasting cut flower. Don't be deceived by how simple they look. When we unpacked them today, we thought they looked a little bit like asparagus. But each one of these little buds is going to open up into a smaller star-shaped flower, hence the name Star of Bethlehem, and it's going to be a nice full bloom. These beautiful flowers came shipped to us directly from the farm in Costa Rica. We just received them today, Tuesday. You guys are receiving them on Wednesday for the frequent flower subscription. And so they are going to last a long time for you guys. And like I said, they're coming in the bud stage, but they're slowly going to open. Once they're out in the warm temperatures of your home, they're going to slowly open. These are the type of flower, when we put them into our cooler, they close up a little bit, and then as we pull them out and start working with them, they start to open up. Similarly, in a garden, these are actually a bulb plant. At night, they would close up, and then during the day, the blooms would open up again. So be patient. These guys are going to be open and full and beautiful in no time. But the best part is you guys get to really see a new variety of flower maybe you're not familiar with, and kind of see it from bud stage to full bloom and really enjoy its whole lifespan. So we're going to go back to the basics of arranging your flowers just in a basic vase. If you've been with us for a little bit as a subscriber, you've probably seen other tutorials that are similar, but it's always good to get a little bit of a refresher. So we are going to start with some greenery. You guys got myrtle greenery in your bouquets today, along with your stems of Star of Bethlehem. And we're going to go over the basics of how to lace the greenery in your how to lace the greenery in your vase, that you're creating a grid that your stems can be placed in, so they're going to stay in place. Sometimes as beginners, when you start, your flowers want to move around. We want to create a nice firm grid that your flowers can be placed into the vase exactly where you want them to be. So we're going to start with our myrtle. You may have long branches like this. You can actually cut these in half. We're starting with a clean glass of water, or vase of water. Has flower food in here already. You guys should have received a flower food packet. Add that to your water. I would choose a vase that has a nice size opening, but not too large. These vases are all good examples of what you could use. My vase that I have the stems in that I'm pulling out of is just a cylinder vase. This is a nice vase to arrange in, but sometimes it's a little more difficult because it doesn't have the flared lip at the top. Having a vase that has that flare helps to get shape to your bouquet a little easier. So once you're ready to start with your greenery, we've snipped our myrtle in half. So I've got two pieces here. I'm going to remove any of the foliage that's going to be below the water line. That's where bacteria is going to start to grow. So you just want to remove that foliage. And you're going to place your stem at an angle. As you continue to place, you're going to cross your stems. Keep crisscrossing your stems as you go around. That's how we are creating that grid that is going to help our flowers stay in place when we start placing them. I might do a little rearranging. This guy's a little tall. I think I'm going to stick him right in the center. So you can keep adding greenery as much as you have, but we're going to keep it pretty simple. I don't want to overdo it with the greenery because I really want my flowers to stand out. So once we have them in place, there shouldn't be a whole lot of movement. This guy's making me a liar. He's going to move as I'm arranging them. But once we get our stems in there, your vase should feel pretty tight, and depending on the size of your vase is going to make a big difference. If you had a very large, wide vase, it's going to be very difficult to create that tight grid. So you want to work with something with probably a 3 to 4 inch opening. Okay, let's start with our stems of Star of Bethlehem. When you cut your flowers, I'm using a knife or I'm using shears. If you've got clean scissors at home, you just want to keep in mind to use tools that are clean, not kind of your junk drawer scissors that might have dirt and grime on them, just something that isn't going to cause more bacteria to get into your stems when you cut them. That's probably the quickest thing that is going to harm your flowers after they've been cut and put in your vase is bacteria growing. That's why we use the flower food. That's why we clean the foliage. But you're gonna cut your stems, and same as we did with our greenery, I'm gonna start kind of creating that grid and working around in my vase. So you see how I'm starting just to kind of form my outer layer. Then I might put some in with a little bit more height. I'm gonna measure kind of against my vase of how tall I want it to be. And then keep placing my stems, going in at an angle and crisscrossing them. And that's starting to hold them in place so that there's not a lot of movement. It also is going to give your vase a lot more shape, a rounded shape versus having everything up and down. So I think right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 stems. So our subscriptions start with the 10 stems. There's 9. I'm going to give this one some height. So there's our 10 stems if you had a 10 stem subscription. You certainly could do this in a much smaller vase like this, and it might appear to be more full with your 10 stems. If you've got 15 stems, I'm going to keep adding. And like I mentioned before, these guys look really simple right now. They don't look too showy, but as they start to open, they're really going to be beautiful. They do have sort of a nice scent to them. So doesn't the myrtle. I love the smell of myrtle foliage. It's just clean and fresh. Especially this time of year, where we're in the house all the time, this is gonna give you kind of an uplifting smell of scent of spring, which is nice. Star of Bethlehem also, what it symbolizes is sort of hope and purity and kind of new growth. So I feel like that's a great fit to a January subscription for the new year going into 2020. Everyone always has good goals and dreams and wishes of those type of things going into the new year. So that's your simple instruction on how to lace your stems and how to do a basic vase arrangement. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we can't wait to continue sharing our love of flowers with you. If you're sharing your things on social media, your arrangements that you made, please tag Main Street Florist in Carlinville and also do hashtag frequent flowers. And then we can kind of see the arrangements that you're making and share with the rest of the group. Thank you guys.